Hello and welcome back to the Black and Gold review show. Pedro,
Yes.
positive in the camp after a game of two halves, shall we say?
Very much so, wasn't it? Obviously, you were there, so you'll have seen it this week. But total game of two halves. That's probably the epitome of the game.
Yes.
The phrase "a game of two halves." What a reaction, though!
Yeah.
Massive.
The
Well
game.
needed.
I thought you actually started the game all right. The first 10 minutes, and then obviously they get their goal. And again, I felt as if you looked rocked at that point, and they get their second goal, and then it was a case of you weren't just hanging in there, but you had chances yourselves. You had opportunities the whole of the first half, but they looked a real threat, and it felt like if they got the third, then it was going to be a real uphill battle. And he even looked, to be perfectly honest, looked like an uphill battle going in at half time.
Aye.
Did you feel that the same as well?
I think it looked that way, and I feel the same coming from from watching on from the bench. You're like, oh fucking hell! Again, it's a massive ask, isn't it, to come
Yep.
back from that. But I'd like watch the highlights, and because you miss stuff during the game, don't you? But we actually had a couple more chances than I remembered in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
Aye, so it wasn't as bleak as at the time. But they come out. The manager tweaked the formation, and we seem to come out like an absolute steam train, didn't we? It was had them camped in majority of the second half.
It was interesting because again at half time you're looking at, and again you did have chances in the first half but you didn't take them, and you're 2-0 down. Then you start to think, do the players lose belief? Because it's easy, you've been there, that's happened before. But as you say, the second half, right from the first whistle as well, the intensity you played with, the energy that just changed from the first half to the second half was... I was standing aside saying, I wonder what's been said at half time, because it was genuinely, I did describe it to a couple of folk who were standing with. It feels like watching a different team.
Mm-hmm.
Just the intensity that you played with, again pressing them, as you say, absolutely had Montrose camped in the whole half for me.
Yeah.
They had one or two breakaway opportunities, but that's to be expected when users try to get back into the game. But I absolutely dominated them. Had some really good chances. Couple of brilliant goals as well.
Tam's headers.
Yeah.
Great balls into the box, by the way. Was it Luca and then Dico? No,
Luca was the second one, and Paul Smith. Paul Smith put the corner
deliveries
in.
all day, weren't they?
Brilliant. I had a brilliant position right at the corner flag when Paul Smith was putting the outswingers in from Montrose's left hand side with his right foot, and just watching it going in, brilliant delivery. But he had phenomenal delivery all game because he had the right few opportunities from set pieces. He looked a threat, and Tam's first header just steamrolled in again, just aggression. And it lifted everyone, because then I think they then realised they were in a game. And then the second goal, I think Luca does really well for me. He's 1-on-1, gets half a yard on the defender. I think it maybe nicked off the defender, the cross going in, but it was a good ball into the box, and Tam again just Sean Dillon was standing jump he had, so it was difficult for him, but Tam just timed it.
He was on Sky yesterday, wasn't he?
Yeah,
he was still picking the black bits out his teeth, I think. Astor is still picking Astor.
He's calling Dessers Tam, but Ken Tam. Dessers, I mean.
What just aggression, wasn't he?
Aye,
brilliant.
But again, it was just the passion as well that, like, you could see it. Even when you scored that, though, it was 89 minutes. It wasn't a big celebration. It was like, get the ball back to the halfway line, we're going again, because there was only one team who was going to win it, and it was Annan. A brilliant reaction second half. And what was it feeling like in the dressing room afterwards?
Still
mixed.
Happy. No. Like, still happy, but again, as we speak about, it's frustrating when you put yourself in that position to have to climb back to that. Because, like you say, if we'd had clean sheet first half, you're 2-0, you win the game 2-0. But even having a shit first half but not conceding two goals like that, and then you can get inside to readdress formations, even just again just trying to get the energy out of the players onto the pitch. And as you say, it's always difficult 2 goals down, but putting a positive spin in it, getting a draw out of that game is Yaskeno, and watching that first half, I think it was most people would have said absolutely no chance, because Montrose were dominant in a way that they looked a real threat going forward, that every time they were attacking
and looked a little bit vulnerable in the second half, but then it completely flipped to the opposite in the second, where Montrose looked so vulnerable. They were time wasting. They knew they were in a game, so they were trying to slow the game up, and by the end I think they're probably going, we'll just take a draw, because this could end up worse.
Look how much they were killing time. The goalie taking ages with the bye kicks and trying to kill. And that's they're just playing the game.
Yep.
Ken Weaver didn't, or should be doing the same if we're 2-0 up, but they were lucky to cling on. I thought anyway. Even when we shook hands with Ross Campbell and Pettigrew in it. No, what's his name? The manager.
Their manager, Stuart Petrie, is it?
Petrie, sorry, Pettigrew. They said fully deserved that. Like so,
it was
evident, wasn't it?
Again,
totally obvious.
I think yous were much more dominant in the second half comparing to them and against yous in the first half. I felt like you still had chances, whereas the second half they maybe had 1 or 2 wee breakaways, but yous just absolutely camped them in. They genuinely couldn't get out their half for long periods, and again they couldn't retain the ball, so it was a brilliant reaction. It's just finding that 90-minute performance. That's what you want, because if you perform like that in the second half, you're battering them. You're winning that game quite comfortably.
Yeah, and we've seen that in the past. That's the thing. We know what they're capable of. That.
Yep. It's just unlocking it and finding it to be consistent, having the confidence right from the word go.
Well, there you go. Right, here's this one. We're talking about injuries and stuff.
Yep.
Hoops came back on. It was great to see him back on the pitch for the second half, and he was awesome.
He was good.
I thought he was
really
good. Just commanding, simple. Go win the ball, go and play, and then sub back off because he got a burst nose. But just what we needed at that time. It didn't look like we were struggling for injuries anywhere else, did it? That's the annoying thing. Kind of were just that energised, and I thought they were brilliant. I was so proud of them. Like they were awesome. Second half we were really, really good, and that's where you think, obviously injuries have been a massive hindrance to us. But when you play them, boys play like that, it's not as obvious, is it, Ken?
No.
If anything, obviously AD or Tommy Goss or Max or whoever would have made it better, again. So
obviously you want all your players fit, because it gives you options off the bench.
Totally.
If things aren't going right, you've got that ability to change personnel on the pitch. But as you say, it just shows you that the squad is good enough.
Yep.
Yes, you want 100%. You want your full squad fit. Of course you do. Yeah. But the squad's still good enough to go and get results. Montrose are a decent side, so it's trying to find that 90 minutes of consistency. Because as I said, if you played anything like that for even 70 minutes, the second half, like if you'd played like that for 70 minutes of the game, you would have won that game quite comfortably. It was brilliant. So you've got to take confidence from that going forward.
Yes, absolutely. Can you not just, and like you say, it wasn't even like a relief or anything, because they know they've got that in them.
Probably still a wee bit frustrated they didn't win the game. Like again, why is it taking us to go 2-0 down to then go and put on such a brilliant performance in the second half? Let's rectify that and let's just start the game well. And even if you're not having the best of games, or you're struggling to get in the game and find your feet, then try not to concede the goals. Even it's easier said than done. Obviously all goals are avoidable, but if you don't concede them goals and you were still pretty shit in the first half and you go in 0-0 at half time, and then you rectify that, you then win the game. So
and on the flip side, Ken, yes, we have conceded, but what an effort back.
Oh no, Ken, real character actually. That's probably the biggest thing that there was. We all know the talent's here because you've had good results, just the consistency to draw that out, and the team. But real character, because it's easy to just go, do you know what, we'll just take getting beat 2-0 and make sure we don't concede any more, make it worse, make it look even worse, have a half decent. But they actually went chasing the game. They went right after Montrose and fully deserved.
Went for the throat.
They did, the jugular. So a bit of that aggression. Was there a bit of that aggression at half time in the changing rooms? Was that?
Changed the shape.
That made a big difference. So that was like
3 at the back.
I felt like there was two kind of elements for me watching from the side. The shape had a massive influence in the way that you were able to go after them the second half. Charlie Maxwell got pushed further up the pitch. It suited him really good. I was really impressed by Charlie. Suited him to play further up the pitch. He was very positive when he got the ball. It allowed you to press them high and camp them in, but also again just the energy, just playing with that energy and
balls
aggression.
In the box.
Yeah,
it was what,
Aye.
like say, Big Tam. It's
Just
food and drink for a minute.
making it difficult for your opposition. So full credit for making that
Excellent.
change at half time, because I think that played a huge part. Hooper, got to mention him, felt as if he was really good at when he came on. So
Aye.
all positive, because Aiden will be back next week, is he?
He'll be back. That's him. Served his 2-match
Will
suspension.
Hooper be okay with the snib?
Aye. It's just. I think it's the only reason they made the sub is so we got a player on quickly than waiting on
it
him
was
to try to sort
bleeding,
it.
right?
Aye.
Aye.
So I think what it looked like anyway. I'm pretty sure that was the case. They were just get someone on
Yep.
rapid. So Kyle went on and did a bit of work, obviously. But aye, great, really good. And Dan Carmichael obviously getting a second appearance. Coming on and putting a shift in. So it was just a lot of contributing factors. The second half was just so positive. So it must have been
Josh
so positive.
Dixon. So
Dicko, aye.
I've got to mention him, because first half, I'll
Did you see the skill? On our side, on the pitch side, the bench side in the second half.
remind me. I might jog my memory.
He had it on his Snapchat. So Reece Breen put my ball up, and so he's touched. He's tight on the touchline. Literally, it goes to like. I don't even. He just flicks it, but it's like he goes to stump it. And he totally means it.
Aye.
It's like, and it just rolls up over the boy's head, and he just runs around him. Just flicks it
fantastic.
right over his head.
Need to get that posted.
Oh, brilliant! It was like, say, I'll get it. I'll be on the analysis. But
Right. Great. No, I've got to mention him, because first half, I'll be completely honest, I felt as if he couldn't get to grips with the game. It was maybe just passing him by. He just, I don't know, he looked very frustrated with his cell. That's what he did look. Towards the end of the half, I could see him having a go at his cell. Second half, I thought he was phenomenal. Like literally to the last minute, I can just picture him.
Worked his balls off.
The work rate he was doing, like sprinting the last minute to try and get the winner, get the ball back, and
Even defending.
aye, no, he was honestly, he was all over the place the second half, like so good. But it just shows you again the contrast with the first half to the second half.
Yeah.
I just thought he was phenomenal the second half. So
Tell a
yeah.
man they were. You can't emphasise that enough. How good they were, like really good.
So 90 minutes to that next week,
Yeah,
and there'll
that'd
be
be
3
nice.
points
Yes.
back at Gallopbank,
Yes.
won't there?
Definitely.
Pedro, other results this weekend.
Yes. We've watched
Celtic
the
game was
Rangers.
off, storm damage. How did you get any storm damage?
No, nothing.
Did it affect your life?
No, not in the slightest.
Just lost a bit of hair during the storm.
It would take more than that to lose it.
He's trying to lose it.
Did a whole lot. Just
Sticking his feet at the
Lego
window,
head
trying
had
to
just come off. What about you? Couple of greenhouse panes smashed.
Aye, Emma's dad Andrew, his greenhouse got an absolute battering. He was greeting the next day when
Was
he
it the
came
wind? It was just you with a hammer.
teach him for putting that in my garden. I know a wee bit of damage anyway. Just listen, nobody got hurt, so we're all good. That was the main thing. But aye, so Celtic, they're obviously
They were
a bit,
off.
bit of storm damage from Celtic Park. You know, they like to keep the money in the bank. They don't like to spend it, so that's why their stadium was wreck and ruin. Rangers 3-1 yesterday, Sunday. A 3-1 away victory
Yeah.
at Dundee United. Good.
Oh, about Dessers' goal.
Oh,
That last goal.
incredible.
Jesus, man.
Again, off the back of the incredible finish against Man U, with
Yep.
his left foot right into the corner. Just the angle he was at Tannadice against Jack Walton and goals. Literally, was only one place you could
Do
put
you
it.
think it caught him off guard?
No, I
You knew it was
genuinely
always
just,
going to happen, but couldn't.
I don't think you can
stop
save it. I genuinely
Aye.
don't think you can save it. I think it's just so good. It's got that bend that's kind of going away from you into the top corner, and it was literally right in the top corner. It was a brilliant finish. But a good victory for them because they've been struggling on the road.
Aye, they needed that.
They
What
have.
about? Well, they needed that. It was good for consistency, wasn't it? for
Yes, they need to start building just wins after.
them? What
win
a
after
time to
win.
sell him if he is, or if they are
Aye,
selling
but
him.
again, like, should they sell him? So here's a fact for you.
Yes.
In the last 18 months, between this season and last season, Kyogo, everyone speaks about how good Kyogo is. Yes, he scores goals in the big games, the Old Firm games. Cyril Dessers has scored more goals than
In
Kyogo.
general,
Aye,
as a goal
like
tally.
number, as numbers. Aye, Cyril Dessers is. What I say, Kyogo is he's something like 31. Don't quote me right on the. And Dessers about 40. So there's a gap, a huge gap.
Is it just the chances that he misses?
Of course it is.
people
And again,
remember?
he doesn't always score on the big stage, whereas Kyogo does. And he scores in the Old Firm games, and they make massive differences. They win games. But
less
again,
goals
if
in
you're
total.
looking at his raw numbers, his numbers are phenomenal. Like, genuinely phenomenal. I think, what is that? Is him on 18?
For the season this year.
So
it's just underrated, unappreciated on the whole, do you think? Or?
I think you're right in saying that the ones he misses, and the simple ones he misses, is probably his Achilles heel. I just don't think Rangers fans have really taken to him either.
But it might turn.
I genuinely think he's got a brilliant personality because he's been getting absolutely slaughtered, and he comes back for more every week.
Just keeps
going. So he's a good strike. I'd keep a hold of him until the summer and reassess at them. I don't really think you can replace him in January. So why are you going to get rid of somebody who potentially can win you the Scottish Cup?
Yep.
So the league's probably out with the reach now. But yeah. Another one, which is interesting, at the weekend, St Mirren beating Aberdeen away at Pittodrie 3-0. Aberdeen now 13 games without a win. Whew. That's...
Like you say, the way they started the season, as you mentioned,
11
in a row.
11 games, in a row without getting defeated.
Without getting beat, yep.
And they were sitting top of the table. They're now, let's have a wee look, they're now fourth, but genuinely... They could drop out of the top 6 if this continues. They will drop out of the top 6 because they're only 5 points clear of the 7th spot, which is incredible for a team that was sitting top of the league. Such a bad run at the moment.
But it just shows, though.
Defensively, they're poor.
Are they?
Yeah, the first goal, Rubicic and Duan both came out. It's one of them ones, the goalie's running out, defender's running back, Olasanya's chasing it down. He heads it, the goalie runs out, Olasanya straight in on goal. But again, St Mirren bullied them. Remember I mentioned St Mirren against
being
Queens?
Physical, yeah.
Very, very... Mandron and Olasanya up front again. Mandron got 2, Olasanya got 1 at the weekend there. So very physical. And they, again, just playing their strengths. Yeah. Just playing the ball. You watch it. Hook. The second goal's just a big long ball. Olasanya, again, bullies Rubicic. Lays it back. And that's it. Willing to run, as you say. Yes, that was... Airdrie beat Dunfermline 3-0. Second win of the season. Which
know what Tids are needed after a good start last week. No.
And then we've got Queens beating Dumbarton 3-1, which is probably expected at home.
Thing is, though, again, look at that league, Cammy. Look how much. What we're saying, 2 weeks. We were talking about yesterday, weren't we? In the jacuzzi in the hot tub, mind we were naked, and like, big floaty balls in the bath.
Are they mine or
the fishing net to gather them up?
Oh, Jesus.
Right, so where Queens, like said, like when was it? When we played them?
Yeah.
I want to say when we drew with them, they were sitting 4 points above us.
Yeah, it was close for a while, like 4 points in it for quite a long time.
A couple of weeks, weren't it? And then they've went 2 wins in a week.
Yeah.
Saturday, Tuesday.
Yep.
Obviously there, sorry.
6 points makes a huge difference.
And look where they've jumped to, 3rd.
Absolutely.
And by all accounts, I'm not saying no, but...
Well, 6 points basically takes you from 7th all the way to 3rd. Mental. That's what it does in a short space of time.
That is a tight league, that though.
They've got a couple of away games, which has obviously been their Achilles heel, and they'll want to try and rectify. I think they play Inverness at the weekend.
So that's a
big game.
That's a big game. Tough for them.
So
I was impressed with Inverness a lot. Really good.
They had. That's another one we've got to touch on.
They beat them at Palmerston. That was a Tuesday night one, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it was close, 3-2.
3-2. But the boy Brooks seems to be. Is he allowed to play against them?
He's hitting a bit of form. I'm unsure of that.
Did he play against them the last time?
Don't know, Peter. Can't answer that question.
Because he's on loan, isn't he? Oh no, they've signed him.
Sorry, so he will be. Be fine. But Inverness had a good 2-1 away win to Alloa on Saturday.
Again, Alloa, they're decent. I know they're just a couple of above us, aren't they?
Yep.
29 points, but still, Inverness. It just showed that obviously turned us over, then narrowly got beat off Queens, and then beating Alloa.
Alloa away is a tough game for anybody in the league, so to go and get 3 points is quite impressive. So it's very, very tight, the league still. It's incredibly tight. I know Arbroath have got 2 games in hand sitting at top, but you need to win them games. So
is the Kelty one, Arbroath, is that on this Tuesday? Do you know?
I'm unsure, Peter. I don't know if that
get them tired for Saturday.
It would be good. Tam Muir's Captain's Catch-Up.
Yep.
Enjoy it?
I enjoyed it. Like I say, hard questions for him to answer. let's say they were probing questions, weren't they?
Well, they've got to be, though.
They've got to be. He stood up when he was, or sat down when he was counted. And he like saying, laid it bare, Cammy. Laid it bare, strip it back. Good,
but
honest chat.
There's no point in, as I say, kind of beating about the bush. Facts are facts. And you've got to ask these questions. There's no point in having this podcast and the fans are wanting all these questions asked and we don't ask them. Yes, they're sometimes difficult to ask and difficult to answer,
or
but
to hear sometimes. Ken, in fact, sometimes no nice.
But listen, it's Tam done well. He spoke really well, actually. I thought he spoke really well. He was very honest in his answers. And again, it's obviously helped him by doing that midweek. It's helped him get a couple of goals there.
Cammy.
Just stirred him up. We got the aggression. He was bubbling inside from when we done it on Wednesday all the way to Saturday. Anger, so angry. I'm going to prove these cunts wrong.
Well,
no, it wasn't. It was always nice. Just about getting him in, because it's great to get the captain. And I think see it from his point of view and from what's going on in the changing room. I think it was a real insight to a lot of the listeners and viewers that they've got a bit from it. That again we spoke about, that everyone absolutely cares, because. Listen, I've been there as well. That when the form's not brilliant, it's not bad, it's not terrible either. But when it's not brilliant, fans are like, doesn't he care? They didn't care. They just going home after training. They don't care. That's it. It's like that nonsense talk. But it just shows you. He said a lot of things that certainly you would identify. Absolutely everybody in that building cares and wants to get right. So.
And again, as we should, we're all pulling in the same direction.
Totally,
and you like to think it's the right direction.
You can see that in the second half. Certainly, again, it could have easily went the other way, but it didn't, and it just shows you the resilience of the team and the staff there in the background. So no, it was a good one. I quite enjoyed it. It's maybe one we can get Tam back in, as we said, during it further down the line, and just get another catch up to see where we're at. Other things going on, we'll go to transfer window closing this week. Obviously, it doesn't for loans. You can get loans further in, but are Annan looking to strengthen?
Obviously, yeah. I think that's pretty evident. Cam, we spoke about it last week, I know, didn't we? But I mean, like the man, he says it all the time in his interviews, and we know he's talking to managers of other teams and trying to get boys in and. Loans and whatever else, but he's trying to identify the right people. It's not just can't just bring it in numbers or someone that's just coming to sit and pick up a wage pie, because that's not the luxury Annan have got. So he is being thorough in his search.
Got to be players that are going to make a difference to the team.
What's the point in bringing someone that is as good as what we've got in the same position as what we've got? And you think. So, I mean, like you say, he doesn't give much away. Him and Belly talk all the time, so they're busy doing it. So, I fully believe that there'll be a couple of bodies in. So,
and probably the luxury is that yes, you'd like them in this week. Probably wanted them in last week, but he's maybe dictated by other managers, which he said he's waiting for them to maybe get a player in to release the player that Annan are looking to take from them, because he's still a squad player for them at this moment in time. So there'll be loads of pieces in the jigsaw that need to fall in the right place for Annan to get the players. But again, probably the positive thing is that you can do loans obviously into February as well. So and again, you'll find, I think towards the end of the window, you might find a few more free agents, because I was always I done it a couple of times where I wasn't playing. And the last week, that's when you go in and you have them discussions with the manager. Look, what's going to happen between me now and the end of the season? Am I going to get any game time? Am I not? Nah, you're not really going to get too much right. Can we come to an agreement that we can terminate my contract and I can become a free agent now? So that happened a couple of times. So I think that you'll soon see a few bodies that aren't happy at their current clubs become available, become free agents, which could be good for Annan as well. So it'll be interesting to see what happens over the next week. Yeah,
that'd be nice, wouldn't it? Again, we mentioned it last
Reece Breen, is there any news on that one?
I don't know the ins and outs, but like I said,
it's
been fantastic for us, isn't it? If it was his last game, because I think it's up at this window.
Yeah, I think there's a decision to be made.
I would love to keep him. We'd absolutely love to keep him.
He's a good player. He is a really good player. Hopefully Annan can keep him, because I think he would make a big difference between now and the end of the season.
Just see us through. I mean, like the boy's getting games.
Absolutely.
I mean, he's been
developing as a a player and a person as well. Yeah,
like there's only a league below the championship level that you should be playing.
Well,
so
Dunfermline are sitting. I think they're sitting second bottom, so there's not a great difference. But again, they've got a new manager, so that might play a part in it.
Totally. We don't know what the discussions are there, but I say all we can say is we'd love to keep him, wouldn't we?
Yep.
You've seen him on Saturday. I think you've seen him a couple of times.
I know. I've been impressed with him. He's a big boy, but he's good on the ball. He uses it well. Again, he's very aggressive and physical, which I like about him. But no, he would be a key player for Anne to keep. But again, it's out with their hands, so they're just waiting to hear.
Yeah.
Hopefully, fingers crossed, it's positive news. Kelty away next Saturday.
Again,
tough one. They've got a new manager, Charlie Mulgrew.
So,
and this will be his first game in charge because their game was called off unless they play midweek. I don't know if they do, but new manager in charge. They'll be up for it. Obviously, looking to impress him and make sure they're putting their marker down to get themselves in their team. So, but again, talk about Annan. Confidence, you've got to go up there confident.
Yes, again another boost at the squad, like you say, is Aidan coming back, potentially Max Kilsby coming back if are available anyway. It's looking at it would be nice because he's been off a couple of weeks now with his ankle, so it depends how he trains this week. Hoops obviously becoming available.
Okay. Yep.
Big crooked nose. Just like I say, if you can just take that, the way we finished the game, straight back in.
Yeah,
love it. I would love to see that go at it. But again, I don't think it's anything that the manager's asked differently. Them, it's just go for that again. It'd be nice, wouldn't it? It'd be nice to see
that intensity, that energy, the quality, everyone just put together. Continue that, as you say, from that 45. Just keep going. And again, Kelty's pitch very similar, AstroTurf. The stadium's quite similar setup, size to Annan's.
What I don't know, every team will probably say it, but that's where we are good. See, when we put pressure on teams and we press teams and we go at them positively, because we don't. In the second half, we never really took too many chances.
Yep.
And it was like most of the game was in the final third, our final third, middle of third.
I think it'll be absolutely key on Saturday that you press them high, because I think knowing Charlie Mulgrew and knowing how he wants to play, he'll try and play from the back, and I think he'll emphasise that and probably put his players under a little bit of pressure to do it. So if you use a man for man, really aggressive in the press and stealing the ball high up the pitch, which obviously gives you great opportunities, and the bodies in their half when you're getting the ball, I just think that's probably going to be the real right approach, is to go after them. And why not? Because he's done it against Montrose and they really struggled with it and they were a bit more direct, but he just camped them in. But I really do, I think Kelty will really try and play from the back.
They are they're handy with it anyways, aren't they? They're a good ball playing team, I think, anyways. So there may be no changing too much about them, but I'd like to see if we can pressurise them and put them under pressure.
I was at the Kelty game at home not so long ago, and again the first 25 minutes of the game you had them absolutely rattled. They couldn't get out. They were trying to play from the back. They were turning the ball over. You were picking up in really good areas. You had a number of opportunities that you just couldn't get the ball in the back of net. And then they hit you with a sucker punch, and then it just kind of collapsed because they got 3 goals in really quick succession. So it just shows you, though, I think if you allow these teams to play, yes, you're saying they've got handy players who are good with the ball, but if you make it easy for them as well, they're going to look good and they're going to be that little bit of quality that could hurt you. But I think when you go and press them and make it hard for anybody,
a lot of the game is in there, isn't it?
Oh, totally.
See, when you even when you were playing, if there was a player when you're marking you like on you in corners, stand on your toes, it just puts you uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And when you leave a foot in, when you hassle them, when you're pushing, pulling, fucking scratching, whatever, you're winning the headers, coming over the top of them, leaving one on them, that affects boys. Can he not?
Yeah.
You have to be so strong and such a professional to just whatever part of the game. It affects you. It affects them the most. The most composed players get affected by it, with someone harrying pressure.
Yeah.
Ken, that was one of the messages. You outwork them and you win the game.
100%.
And That's massive, like, and that can be utilised quite easily. That's a kind of fundamental, isn't it? Just that hard work.
It's interesting because again, I've mentioned Simon Murray a number of times on this, but again, teams going in facing Dundee and Simon Murray's name's on the team sheet, they're like, fucking hell, he's a pest. I'm not going to get a second today. And they just automatically go, well, I need to switch on, rather than having somebody who's probably got more quality than Simon when they're on the ball and much more a threat when they're on the ball. They'll probably sometimes take that over a guy who's going to chase them into the corner when they would normally just go and pick that ball up, get turned and then face the game. They know they're not going to get that. They know they're going to get chased right into the corner.
No time
in the ball, and going to have to sclaff clear it or try and hook it up the pitch because Simon's chasing them down. Same with a bit like Rudy Payton. I think he's just signed for Dundee United.
He's come back up the road.
He was a bit like that as well. Obviously when he was at Queen's and then Queen's Park, you watch him, just his work rate, he's real energy at the top end of the pitch, and we've said it again before that it's underrated a little bit, work rate sometimes. If you work harder than most teams in this league, you've got a definite really high percentage of a chance of taking points from that game. So yeah, it'll be again Anna in a brilliant sort of mindset after that second half performance, so got to take that into next week up at Kelty, hopefully disrupt them, because they're,
I'd like to think so.
They're
at least have a go.
Yeah, they're quite fifth in the league. They'll be looking to try and look ahead of themselves, but the league's that tight. They'll need to
So
look
should we
behind.
though?
Yeah, totally.
Shouldn't
No,
we?
absolutely. You're on
Can't go in
21
there.
points again, one win, and then you're right on the tail of Montrose, and you're in that. You're starting to get into that pack. 3 points is massive. 3 points makes a huge difference in this league. So win a couple of games in a row, like Queens have done,
Totally.
changes your position and your outlook on the season. Anything else that we've got to pick up on this week?
No, we need
Beds?
to get back on the youth fixtures, don't we?
Yeah.
We need to get back on that.
There was
Talking about the youth stuff, what we're saying for we've got the ball in motion.
Yes, we have. So we've got we spoke to our supplier, Ross McKend.
Yep, MCK Graphics.
Yes, so Ross is he's just getting some figures together just now of what we can get, but hopefully we're looking at and hopefully it'll be out within the next 10 days to 2 weeks. They'll have it. The kids will actually have all this stuff. Looking at hat, snood, all branded up, but every single one, I think we're probably talking between the youths and the girls, it's probably going to be roughly about 250, I reckon.
Brilliant.
Is the number of kids that we're going to give them to. So,
and this is the weather for it.
This is the weather for today's torrential out there. Horrible.
Snood, come and watch the Annie games with your snood on, your hat on. And if we've got enough, we'll get the coaches some.
Absolutely, that was our plan. If we've got enough finances there, that we'd get every coach at least a hat as well, and it gets everyone a little bit branded up. It gets our podcast out. Somebody might give us a follow, a like, subscribe. We're up to how many now?
Oh, about 206 or something. Cammy.
Come on, we can make that 210. Can we not? Can we make that
210?
No, so that's our plan. But we'll keep you up to date as soon as we get the go ahead from Ross. And all the pricing up, then we'll let you know exactly when it's going to be really delivered to the kids. Hopefully we'll get a nice picture with everyone.
Or even each age group. That might be
great.
More feasible, but
one big picture.
It'd be good, wouldn't it?
Certainly for the Monday, the first hour we can get a big picture, and the second hour they can get No, we'll do something. Merchandise, still got merchandise on the go. It's still on the go.
Still going out,
please,
still getting orders in, so it's good. It's all good.
Please drop us a message if you want anything.
Think, Ken, if you're going on Easter holiday. Ken, I mean, if you're going hill walking, Cammy, Ken, you need a hat. You need a wee touré. Ken, you need a hat on, like.
A wee scarf.
A wee scarf, Cammy. Come watch the Annan game. Black and yellow scarf with the black and gold on it.
Pint glass.
Do you like a cup of tea? A wee cup of tea.
For when you're in the clubhouse, you're having a pint after the game. Bring your own black and gold pint glass.
Exactly.
Lovely.
I'm sure I heard the club say it's free pints if you bring a black and gold. Do not quote me on that one.
We'll get the bill sent to us. No, so if anybody wants any merchandise, just drop us a message on the socials.
We're going to do thongs, aren't we, for men?
Yeah,
we're going to do thongs.
On our next holiday that we've just booked together. We'll just we'll maybe do a wee catwalk.
Maybe a catwalk.
Side of the pool.
Catwalk. What a sight that would be.
No, so
I'd need an extra small.
An extra nothing.
Fuck's sake, aye.
No,
though.
so just drop us a message on social media and we'll get any merchandise stuff out to you. Hats, scarves, pint glasses, t-shirts. What else have we got, Peter? Tankards, key rings. Have I missed anything? No, all good.
Fantastic.
Yes, great. Social medias. Yeah. Keep following us and liking us on all our social, even all of our review shows. Just give it a share. Let as many people see it as possible. Get as visual as possible as well.
What you've maybe seen over on the socials the last few days, we've been releasing bits and bobs from our live show. Obviously, we mentioned it in the past. We can't release the whole thing. It's just too much editing. But there will be snippets in that we could put out, can be things that happened on the day, bits and bobs like that. So
it gives you. I'm pretty sure it's gave you a little taster of some of the videos we put together. Our intro video, I liked that, to watch that back again. You were too busy fishing to turn up for the live gig, so that was. And then you liked to poke me in the mouth, didn't you?
I know, folks thought that was my finger, weirdly.
No, so there will be more. We'll drop in a few more because there's good wee clips that we can put out there. It gives you a taster of what potentially the next one might be whenever we can bring that to you. Hopefully it'll be another sell.
Something else different, innit? We always try and think of something to do and how we can interact and have a different spin on it, but it'd be good just to get people involved in it.
Absolutely. That's what it's all about, giving everyone the opportunity to be involved and a voice and ask any questions and
have a laugh.
Be part of it. Be part of the whole Black and Gold podcast family, shall we say, Peter? Yes. Else before we wrap up?
No, I think that's it, Cammy. I think we've done a good job there today. You've explained it very well.
Thanks, mate.
You had a weekend off, didn't you?
I did. I had a nice wee weekend off, which was great. Got to the Annan game, had your company on Sunday for a number of hours. And then, next weekend I'm highlight show on Saturday night, so back at it. So it should be good, but all good.
Happy days.
Good luck to Annan next weekend up at Kelty. 3 points, bring it back to Galabank. And again, thanks again for watching, listening. Please subscribe, like, share all our stuff on social media. And until the next time, it's bye from us.